From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Cascade Paint & Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. It is your Tuesday morning, and you know what? We've got some isolated showers in the forecast. Now, I think most of them will be in the mountains, especially to the north and east of the valley. But the valley is not out of the game here when it comes to chances for showers. So we'll get into that a little bit later here. But we do have a warming trend. That warming trend continues over the next few days and is expected to peak on Thursday. We're talking about 90 degrees for some of the warmer spots in the valley. Now, there's going to be another big temperature drop, much like what we saw, well, last weekend, really. You know, we saw temperatures really drop down. We're going to see that again here as we go into Saturday. But I do expect going into next week, it's going to be drier and warmer again. Now, we've got a little bit to talk about in our deeper dive forecast, but before we get to that, hey, let's take a look at your Krueger's Quickcast for those of you that just want to know what to expect here for today. Maybe you got some outside work and you want to know, do I need to dodge the raindrops? Is it going to be a dry day for me? Let's take a look. Well, first and foremost, we're going to start off with dry conditions across the board this morning. In fact, I expect dry conditions across the board through midday. But what we're looking at is this. High pressure has been what's been building over the last 24, 48 hours. What we're seeing here is something I talked about yesterday. Here's the disturbance right here. This is the batch of clouds that's now over the Pacific Northwest, and that's riding over the ridge. Now, it's breaking it down a little bit, but it's not going to have a huge impact on our temperatures. But this is also what's eventually going to bring a chance for some showers for some of us. Not everyone. All right, so let's take a look at Futurecast. Here's this morning. We take you through midday. Now, what we're seeing here as we go through the morning, we're going to see this thin veil of clouds kind of come through, and even some mid-level clouds. So those are kind of some of those gray clouds, but the sun can still filter through a little bit here. So overall, what we're seeing here, a lot of it's probably not even reaching the ground. It's going to be fairly light. We're not going to see a lot of rainfall coming out of it, but still plenty of sunshine down to the south and east. But otherwise, you can kind of see the line of where the boundary just continues to dive down to the south and east. So by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 or 5 through the afternoon, we're seeing that kind of push through. So I think places like Siskiyou County, even parts of Trinity County showing some signs of a few showers. But I think most of it's going to be right here, Modoc and Lassen counties. But look what's happening here. As we go through the afternoon, I think Futurecast may be just a little aggressive when it comes to how intense these will be. But we're mainly going to be looking at some passing stray sprinkles and light showers for us through the afternoon into the evening here for the valley. I don't anticipate any thunderstorms, but with that said, it is picking up on some form of instability. So it's not entirely out of the question for some of you to maybe even see a stray period of moderate rainfall. It's not going to last for very long, but even as we go into the evening and overnight hours, it's still kind of lingering here, especially to the east of the valley, but should start to dry out as we go into Wednesday morning. So here's what we have in store for us today. We've got the partly cloudy skies, could see a stray sprinkle or light shower in the valley. Most of the activity will be right here where you can see all the clouds, right? And then you head off to Siskiyou County, a stray shower. Especially north and eastern portions of Trinity County could see a stray shower as well, but I think everyone else will be dry for the north coast, and even parts of western Siskiyou County having a hard time seeing any of that rainfall. So let's take a look at your 7-day outlook. There's that chance for us in the valley, but it's dry for tomorrow. But look at this. Yeah. Stick around for the deeper dive forecast, but yeah, it's not out of the question for Butte County to maybe see some more showers even as we go into tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. But dry for Thursday, that's the peak of the warming trend. We start to cool things off. 90 on Thursday for Reading, down to 66 degrees by Saturday with those showers. We take you out to the coast, inland, and for Trinity County. Now the coast and inland, I think you'll be dry all the way through Thursday, including today, but places like Weaverville, you may see a stray shower. Don't anticipate it to be a lot. It's going to be late in the day. And then there you can see more sunshine and warmer, peaking that warming trend on Thursday, and then more chances for showers starting as early as Friday. But I think the main event really across the board will be on Saturday. Mount Shasta, you could see a stray shower. Better chances for showers through the afternoon for Alturas and Modoc County in general, and especially in Lassen County and eastern portions of Shasta County. Now, there could still be a chance for showers tomorrow afternoon for parts of Lassen County, but dry for everyone for Thursday with that peak of that warming trend, and then chance for showers as early as Friday, especially in the mountains. But again, that main event will be on Saturday. All right, that's a look at Krueger's Quickcast. Quick reminder, there is a 24-hour streaming channel you have access to on all platforms that Weather NorCal is available. WeatherNorCal.com, the free Weather NorCal app, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, anywhere YouTube is available. Just search for Weather NorCal in all of those apps, and you can even subscribe to the YouTube channel and get those alerts when I update the latest forecast. And that's the cool thing about the YouTube app. No matter where you are, even on your smart TV, you can on demand watch that latest forecast. That's what it's all about now, right? It's all about on demand. Nobody wants to sit around and wait until 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening to watch the latest forecast. No, you can watch it whenever you want, the latest forecast that I've uploaded. So there you can see right here, again, that's the disturbance that's riding over the ridge of high pressure. That's going to be the cloud cover. We will see that will be on the increase throughout the day today. So once again, we'll take a look at the day. So not a lot going on by midday. Maybe a sprinkle of light shower for eastern Siskiyou and northern Modoc County. Otherwise, those clouds will be on the increase as we go through the afternoon. By 6 p.m., we are seeing some of those showers for parts of the valley. So that's not out of the question for us. Maybe even see a stray isolated area with some moderate rainfall. But the bulk of that rain will be off to the north and east, but I do expect mainly dry conditions for Del Norte, Humboldt counties, and really most of Trinity County should be fairly dry today as well. 10 o'clock tonight, still a few leftover showers, but by tomorrow morning, that's all pretty much done with. There's 8 a.m. There you can see the clouds still kind of lingering out towards the south and east. Maybe some of the fog around Eureka, Humboldt Bay, pretty typical. Then we go into Wednesday afternoon. This is where things get a little interesting. So we could see some development here to the south and east. Eastern Tehama, eastern Butte County, parts of Plumas County, seeing some afternoon showers and possible thunderstorms actually. Now some of those could work their way down the foothills and make their way into parts of places like Chico, maybe even Corning, Willows, and Oroville. But with that said, a lot of times what happens is any of these showers or storms work their way down the mountains. That is sinking air. You need rising air for those showers and thunderstorms to kind of sustain themselves. So when the air starts to sink, we start to see more of a stable atmosphere, and that tends to break apart any showers or thunderstorms. So most likely they'll die down before hitting the valley tomorrow afternoon, but sometimes they can sustain just enough energy to produce a sprinkle or a light shower for places like Chico, Oroville, Willows, as I mentioned. But that's late in the afternoon tomorrow into the evening hours. You can see again some development here, even in eastern Tehama County in the evening hours. So even Red Bluff may see some of that late evening, early overnight hours. But still some fog, looks like around Humboldt Bay. Now for Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, we are going to pretty much keep it dry before we see the next chance for showers. In fact, that's the peak of the warming trend. So looking at the rainfall through Thursday, most of it, as I mentioned here for today, is going to be off to the east here into parts of Modoc County, Lassen County, even Plumas County. It is showing some activity trying to come into the valley here, but overall, we're not expected to see much there. Here's our mid-range forecast model, and as I mentioned, Thursday should be fairly dry. Through 5 p.m., you've got just some clouds along the coast, mainly sunny skies everywhere else. But by the time we go into Friday afternoon, we're going to be looking at chances for showers. But starting off the day on Friday, some clouds coming in from the south and west. Those will be working their way northeastward through the day on Friday, and there's that chance for showers and maybe even some thunderstorms. Now, I do anticipate most of it will be in the higher elevations. Even along the coast could see some activity here, and this model wants to show some of it making its way into the valley, but I think it's going to be more like Saturday that the bulk of that rain will be hitting into the valley and really everywhere else too. So there you can see on Saturday, here's the area of low pressure. This is the colder air moving in, so that's going to give us snow in the mountains. But much like last weekend, I think those snow levels will be mainly above 6,000 feet. So chain requirements probably won't be a concern for us. Most of those chain requirements will probably be around the Tahoe region once again for your Saturday. But you can see the widespread rain that we are seeing over Northern California. That area of low pressure dives down to the south by Sunday. The rotation around that low pressure system is still going to bring a chance for a few showers east of the valley. Modoc County, Lassen, Plumas counties, but even parts of eastern Shasta, Tehama County could see a chance for some of those showers as well. That's Sunday. Then by Monday, that finally moves on out, and what we've got here is high pressure building back in. Things dry out, and we see those warmer temperatures going into early next week. So looking at the rainfall outlook through Saturday, there's the bulk of the rain here as we go through the next several days here. It's mainly north and east of the valley. I think it might be a little aggressive, but we could pick up upwards of, say, a tenth to maybe around a quarter of an inch of rainfall for parts of the valley once all is said and done through Saturday. As mentioned, Sunday will be dry, and the bulk of that rain is off to the east. We're not even really seeing a lot of rainfall even for the coast. There also about a tenth to about a quarter of an inch of rainfall. So we talk about the temperatures. They're going up as we speak here. They're going to peak somewhere around Thursday as this ridge of high pressure builds in. That's when we could see about 90 degrees for especially around the Redding area. But this colder air here, which is also responsible for the rain we'll see on Saturday, that's the pocket of cooler air that's going to drop our temperatures from 90 in Redding on Thursday down to 66 degrees by Saturday as that colder air moves in. By Sunday, that colder air dives down to the south. Temperatures moderate a little bit, but still on the cool side for your Sunday before we do start to see that ridge of high pressure build in. But look at this ridge. It's not this big dominating ridge of high pressure over the western United States. It's just over Northern California, really. So we will see an increase in our temperatures early next week, Monday, Tuesday, but we're not looking at a massive increase in those temperatures, probably averaging out in the low 80s by the time we do go into early next week. So up to 90 by Thursday, down to 66 degrees for Redding by Saturday, back up in the low 80s by early next week. There's that roller coaster ride. Quite a drop in those temperatures, though, as we do go on in the weekend. But we saw that last weekend, so that's essentially what we're going to see again here for next weekend. Your lake levels are looking very healthy still, 5.0 feet. So exactly 5 feet from the crest here this morning. There you can see your capacity still 90% or higher, and that historical average still looking pretty good as well. No concerns about droughts, at least for us here in Northern California, but to the south, yeah, you're anywhere from dry to even up to the extreme category. But even parts of the desert Southwest and even in Texas are in the exceptional drought. That's not good, especially for our neighbors down to our south and east. But the good news is we don't have any fire weather watches or any red flag warnings, but once again, and this is something as we lead ourselves into the summer months and getting into the fire season, we still have to remind ourselves to make sure that we have this, especially if you have property, a lot of property, that you have defensible space, you clear out any brush, and of course you have that 100 feet of defensible space as well. If you can't do it yourself, it's always important to have someone else or even pay someone to do it if you have to. And on top of that, keep in mind, it's not just for your safety, but it's for your neighbor's safety as well. Here's a look at your wave heights going into the next 24 hours, and they're not going to change a whole lot. In fact, even going into Wednesday, they're still fairly high, and that's why the National Weather Service still has a small craft advisory today, and that extends all the way into tomorrow evening. You can see the winds today out of the north at about 15 to 20 knots. Your high tide is at 7:59 this morning at minus 2.1 feet. All right, here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures generally in the 70s. You can see some of the cooler spots like Mad River at about 67. Now, where I do expect most of any shower activity to be will be kind of in northern Trinity County and north of Highway 299. I think that's where the bulk of any showers will be here this afternoon. The north coast, inland, and the coast will be dry today. Dry Wednesday, Thursday as well, and then eventually some showers coming in by Friday. Main event coming in on Saturday, though. Today, though, temperatures in the low 60s for the coast. Smith River, though, you'll top out at about 72 degrees today. Now, we could see just all of Siskiyou County a chance for some isolated showers. It's going to be few and far between. It's not going to be a lot. Dry Wednesday, Thursday, more showers Friday into Saturday. For Modoc County, you've got kind of that widespread rain, especially as we go through the early afternoon hours and even into the evening, a chance for a few showers. Dry for Wednesday, Thursday, and then bigger chances for rain coming in on Saturday. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, kind of just the scattered showers across all of the Eastern Mountains, including Eastern Shasta, Eastern Tehama County, mainly in Lassen County, but south into Plumas County, I think your chances today will be a little bit slimmer. And then taking a look at your valley neighborhood forecast to the south, temperatures in the low 80s for your daytime highs today. Could even see a chance for some evening showers as we go into Wednesday, including the Chico area. Otherwise, we're dry through Friday after that. More showers coming in on Saturday. Much cooler as well, drier and warmer for Sunday, Monday of next week. 85 for Redding, 84 for Bella Vista, 85 degrees for Cottonwood and Whiskeytown, about 80 degrees. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast for Redding, temperatures upper 80s by Wednesday, 90 by Thursday. We should be dry for the most part on Friday, but increasing clouds, showers on Saturday, and much cooler. Low 70s by Sunday and low 80s by Monday of next week. That's your morning update. I'll be back again at noon. Have a great morning.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.